you want to make sure you check there first. Hey explorers, I'm back for another edition of Travel Chat Thursday. And today we're going to talk about something JetBlue just announced in the last week. JetBlue announced that they're partnering with Vault in providing at-home saliva tests for COVID. And you get an exclusive savings on the test if you are a JetBlue customer. So before we get into this new process at JetBlue, make sure you hit the subscribe button if you have not already, and the notification bell so you're notified when each of my videos come out. Videos come out twice a week, Tuesday and Thursday. So you want to make sure you hit that notification bell to be notified. And it would mean so much for me if you hit the subscribe button, because it really benefits my channel to have the people who are watching engaged in, locked in, and subscribe. And plus, it would be great for you, so you are notified when all of my videos come out, and very engaging topics about travel and my adventures to places that you may want to go in the future. Now, with that said, let's get into this video about JetBlue. So I did not go through with it. I do not currently have a flight booked with JetBlue. So I didn't go all the way through the steps to see how much it will cost. So if you have looked into it, please let me know if you found out how much the test costs. But there are some things to note about this test. So it is a saliva test, and most tests, they usually do the nose swab, where they stick that thing all the way up your nose and pull out whatever it is they need from there. But this one is actually through the saliva, so it's not going to be as painful or discomforting as the nose test. Another thing to note, once the sample gets back to the lab, you will get your results within 48 to 72 hours. And this is very important for travel, because there are a lot of countries where they will only allow you into the country if you have your COVID results within 48 to 72 hours up on arrival. The testing also provides expedited shipping, so you can get it there quicker to the lab and get your results as soon as possible. The test is also FDA approved, and I went through research of finding testing and labs and everything. There's not that many. I mean, there are labs that are lab tests that are FDA approved for COVID, but there are still a lot that are pending out there, because obviously this is still a fairly new virus. So I think that's pretty awesome that this at-home test is already FDA approved. The testing also gives you Zoom supervision, so you will call in with someone over the computer where they can watch you and kind of guide you through the testing process, and someone is watching you to make sure it is you that is providing the test. You also may be able to get reimbursed from your health insurance or maybe your HSA or something because of the CARES Act, but you definitely want to look into that and verify that information before you try it with your insurance company. Now, here is my thought about it. I think this is very, very cool and very innovating, because people do want to travel and get out there, but you definitely have to have that COVID test for a lot of different places in order to get into the country. So I think this is very innovative that JetBlue is doing, and making sure that their customers are staying healthy and getting where they want to go. But I must say, you have to be very cautious about this test. I am currently planning a trip, which I will not announce when or where it will be, but in doing research and the COVID test that they need, it requires it to be through a certified lab, okay? And I don't know if this lab, I don't know if it's certified or not. I didn't really investigate the lab at this point, but it must come from a certified lab. It must be a PCR test, and it must not be a rapid test. It has all these qualifications that it must meet in order to get into the country. And this would not meet those qualifications. So I would definitely be cautious, and don't think that this is your end all solution. You definitely want to check with that country's health department or travel agency, their State Department, whatever their department is called in that country that you're trying to go to, you want to make sure you check there first. Let me repeat that. You want to make sure you check there first before you get involved with this test, because you don't want to spend money for this test and then it is not qualified. You wasted your time and money, and then you can't even go on your trip because this doesn't work and you couldn't get it done in time. So you always want to check with that country, their qualifications, before you get started on any of this COVID testing or any process into traveling there. And with that said, I do think it's innovative. I hope it continues to evolve and become more of an end all be all for travel, that there is a test that you can do, that you can get it done within those hours before travel, as a lot of countries are requiring. It's definitely a lot of things that I would want to investigate and look into before I even try to do this, because for me, JetBlue doesn't even go a lot of places that I would want to travel to. So I am a JetBlue customer. I have, a rewards account. I don't fly with them often, but I do fly with them at times. So it's like, if I do go somewhere else, can I still use this service? Is something that I would love to understand, because, right now for me, the only place that maybe I could go somewhere in the Caribbean, maybe, or to New York. And New York will be convenient for me out of Atlanta, but to go to Caribbean, I have looked before and I would have to lay over somewhere. And I'm like, well, I could fly Delta or someone else who would take me there direct. I don't want to lay over. I didn't want to lay over before COVID. I surely don't want to lay over now. That's more exposure and contact to people. I would also like to understand what countries would accept this, and I don't believe this is a PCR test, and it seems like a lot of countries only want PCR tests. So I want to know what countries are accepting this type of test, and of course I would like to know the cost. That is major. So I would just love to hear, some trial and error on this and see how it works out for them over time. But I do really enjoy that this is an innovative process and they're doing something for their customers, and I'm sure it will only get better. So I really want to know, what do you think about this? I want you to leave in the comment box down below. What do you think about this? Would you try this testing if you had to travel somewhere and it was accepted where you were going? I want to know all of your thoughts about this. Let's get into it. Let's chat, because it is Travel Chat Thursday. So I want your feedback, your questions, your concerns. I want to hear it all about this new process at JetBlue. With that said, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you hit that like button. Also, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and the notification bell right next to it, so you are notified when every video comes out. Videos come out every Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesday at 4 p.m. Eastern Time and Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Also, make sure you share this video with your friends, family, and your social media networks so they can get in on the chat and learn about what JetBlue is doing out there in this world. Thank you so much again for watching. Have a great day or night wherever in the world you are.